Today we'll be making DIY magnets. Sell them in your Etsy shop, give them as gifts, or just use them to decorate your fridge and make it a little more cheery. Let's go! Hi, I'm Diana, the artist behind MyMcDoodles. Welcome to my channel. I'm using the Photo Paper Direct magnet sheets for inkjet printers. They're sized at 8.5 by 11, so it's easy to print these at home. You can find this product on Amazon in packs of 5 and 10 and on the Photo Paper Direct website. Read the included instruction sheet to find the settings for your printer. I print with a Canon Pixma IX6820. This is a nice quality photo printer and it does a great job for my stickers as well. I'll link my printer in the description below. I'll be using a Cricut Explore Air too for cutting my magnets, but it's not required for this project. If you have simple cut lines, you can use good old-fashioned scissors. Just place your images onto an 8.5 by 11 size document, print, and cut them out by hand. The instruction sheet recommends a 30-degree blade for cutting. It's helpful to have spare blades for your machine since they do get dull over time. This variety pack includes 3 different angled cutting blades. I'll include all supplies in the description of this video. If you're using a Cricut, you'll need to create cut lines. Do this in the same method you would if you were creating stickers. I create my art in the app Procreate, so I simply draw a white border around my design so my Cricut knows where to cut. Be sure to leave a generous buffer zone in case your machine doesn't cut exactly on the lines. If you need help with this method, check out the video linked above. After creating your art and cut lines, export your files as PNG images. Save to your camera roll or airdrop it to your computer depending on which device you prefer to work with Cricut Design Space on. I personally opt for the computer because I find the Design Space app a little less buggy on there. Import your PNGs as print and cut files. You can use them to create stickers, magnets, and other fun stuff. Add them to your Cricut Design Space canvas. Keep in mind Cricut Design Space currently has a print and cut limitation of 6.75 by 9.25 inches. To help envision how many stickers or magnets you can fit onto a page, you can add a quick shape rectangle to the canvas first. Unlock it and resize it to these dimensions. This will help you visualize where to place your magnets to maximize the space and minimize any wasted white space. I like to rotate and squeeze as many items onto a page as possible to prevent any unnecessary waste of my materials. I'm really cheap and will find even more uses for the scraps. If you like to see what I do with the Cricut material scraps, comment below and I'll consider making a video specifically dedicated to that. I keep my stickers and magnets around 3 inches, but you can make yours whatever size you wish. Use the system dialog to print your project. This will appear behind your Cricut Design Space window. This was super frustrating for me for a while because I could not figure out where the heck the system dialog box was. Minimize your Cricut Design Space window and voila, it'll appear. For my printer and matte materials, I print with the settings adjusted to the best quality possible and choose photo paper. This prints really well for me and looks professional, so I can feel comfortable selling these in my Etsy shop. Check your printer settings to see what works best for you. If your material is matte, you should be good to go. However, if you're printing on glossy material, you may have to jump through a few hoops to get your Cricut to recognize the black guidelines. One way you can do this is to tape over the guideline with matte Scotch tape. You can also print your entire project on a regular sheet of paper, cut out the center, and tape only that rectangle border over top of your material. This way the Cricut reads the guideline from the regular paper, but it cuts the cut lines for your magnets or stickers. This is more annoying and complicated, so if you can go the Scotch tape route, do it. I've covered this and other tips in the video above, and I'll link it in the description below as well. If you need any help with any of these issues, feel free to ask in the comments below, send me a message, or check out my videos on sticker creation. I've covered a lot of topics like this in previous Cricut and sticker videos. I opted for a strong grip mat for my magnetic material. The standard grip mat probably would have been sufficient, but mine is out of commission at the moment. Whichever mat you choose, just make sure it has enough tack left on it so your material doesn't slide around when your machine starts cutting. If you set your dial to custom, you can search for specific materials in the base material list. I searched for magnetic sheets and chose 0.6 millimeters. In retrospect, I should have chosen the 0.35 millimeter adhesive-backed magnetic sheet. I'll explain why in a minute. Leave the pressure at default or set to less. The less pressure the better. You'll see why in a second. Press the Cricut button to get started.
I'm sorry, try again.
You might have to play with the settings a little bit. You can see that this blade is pressing way too hard through the material and it's shredding it like this. So if this happens to you, then go for less pressure. I decided to do a quick search on the mils measurement and whoops, no wonder my material shredded. 1 mil equals 1/1000th of an inch or 0.0254 millimeters. My material was 11 mils, which equates to 0.279 millimeters. I chose a material from my list that was double this thickness. Well, I guess we learn something new every day. So I'm going to try it on cardstock now and see if that works better. This cut so much cleaner with the original blade, just the regular blade that comes with your machine and not the deep cut blade, and with it set on the cardstock setting. If this happens to you, you can always play around with the settings, and I would suggest also possibly just testing like a small area, cut like a tiny like a circle or something, and just as like a little test to see if the pressure settings are right, and that's how you can avoid wasting expensive materials. So this looks good. It looks like it cut the whole way through. If for some reason it did not, then all you need to do is press the Cricut button again and it'll feed it through and just cut on the exact same cut lines, just like your stickers. I always check first to make sure that it did cut through because if you unload your mat, you can't reload it and get the exact same cut lines. It's really unlikely that you'll line it up in exactly the same manner and it might not read the scan lines exactly the same. So always just check and make sure that it cut through your material before you remove the mat. This looks good, so I'm going to unload it. When you're removing your stickers or your material, it's always best to like curl your mat rather than peeling your material up from the mat. Curl your mat and peel the mat off of the sticker sheet or the magnet sheet. When you do this, it'll help these to lift as well. It's good if you can flip it over and put it like face down on like a table or something. And ideally, you would have two hands to, to peel this back and remove your stickers or your magnets. I'm holding my phone with one hand to film this for you guys, so I can't use my other hand. However, just keep in mind it's better to curl your mat and peel it off of your material versus the other way around. I just love how these turned out. I hope this tutorial was helpful and fun for you. Let me know in the comments below if you plan to try this fun project. And if you make some magnets, I'd love to see them. You can tag me on Instagram at MyMcDoodles. Here's another video that you might enjoy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.